I feel like most folk are afraid because they feel like they're going to get laughed at to speak out.
I believe that as a man could be quite challenging.
We have an issue in terms of specifically from a male perspective.
Yeah.
I feel like as a man, it's a little bit harder too.
Yeah. Like a fear of being judged, or maybe like that people wouldn't relate to your problems.
It's still a taboo.
Because I feel like it's kind of embarrassing.
There's been a tradition of shame in relation to mental health. Now, this has greatly improved over the last few decades, but there's still shadows of it there.
Should doctors ask about mental health at every visit?
Yes.
Definitely. So whenever you're having a patient in your clinic, the first thing you get to know what are the problems, and sometimes we have people who cannot express themselves.
I think that's the first form of treatment.
What's something simple that a company could do to make a difference?
I think personally, even just having it's as simple as just having a one-on-one with your employees, making sure that everyone feels comfortable. There's no workplace toxicity. I think that's a very big thing.
I think it's not just taking surveys or asking people to fill some forms. It's actually talking to them.
Why do we say just push through for mental health pain?
I think as an Irish society, everything is pushed through and swept under the carpet.
There is kind of a way of being Irish that's very, no, I have it, I got it. Yeah. I don't need help. So I think we are kind of stubborn in that way. But I mean, I think sharing things is crucial.
There's no pushing through it. Because if you just push through it, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Your mind is going to become toxic. Where you get to a stage of you don't know what to do with this, you don't know how to deal with it. So suicide comes into it.
Do you think communities do enough to support mental health?
I think that there's kind of two sides to communities needing to support people in regards to mental health. So you have the government funded side of it, which I think that they could. I'm not really the most educated on statistics about that, but I think that there's definitely always room to improve.
Yeah.
There should be more funding put into helping people with mental health because people don't talk.
Because as we see, we don't know what people are thinking at the minute.
Exactly, yeah.
And we need more definitely more funding and more awareness of what is actually going on.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how a person's going to feel at one day to the other. Are they sad? Are they upset over something? Maybe grief, maybe something else. It's a mental issue. Mental issue is a thing that you cannot see.
No, not enough. Especially with the likes of social media and all, I don't think there's enough awareness around mental health. And even, I don't think a lot of kids or young people would talk about their mental health.
I think people find it hard to articulate sort of what challenges they're having. I don't think we know how to support people properly yet. I think, yes, we have stuff online, but, going to a doctor and actually raising it like that, I think is still quite challenging.
What's the cost of ignoring mental health?
I think the cost of ignoring mental health is our lives, our mental health. Unfortunately, you hear about so many people and young teenagers or people in their 20s who have committed suicide. And I think it's because at the time they didn't think there's another option.
The cost of ignoring mental health is people's lives.
Do you think communities should have free mental health cafes?
I think that's a really good idea. I think it's a good open space where people can go to. I think the problem for a lot of people is they don't know where they can go. So if you give those open sort of spaces where they know that is a place they can go and that will have the correct support there, the people with maybe the correct training to understand people's problems and give the good sort of advice, I think that's a really good idea for people to also be able to meet people that may have the similar problems to them. So it's a great way for people to meet new people, make friends, and also talk about some of their issues.
I think ideas like that and stuff like that is a really good idea because, it gives people that may not be able to just talk about it to their parents, their friends, a place to go and a safe haven.
Yeah, I think it would be very nice to have that for loads of people to talk about their feelings or stuff like that. It would be very helpful. Yeah.
How do you think we can encourage more open conversations about mental health and suicide in Ireland?
I think bringing it into classrooms and into schools would be the perfect thing to do. Yeah. If everyone just understands that it's normal to speak about it and everything, and for the older generation to realise this is a real thing, and although they were brought up the hard way, it doesn't have to be that way for us.
I think as good as social media is for these kind of things, I think it's so important in your your own relationships to be brave and open up about things and actually have that face-to-face communication.
You just have to talk about it. That's the only way that it's gonna get better for anyone.
Yeah.
That like everyone deserves help. It's not based on your gender or whatever. Like everyone deserves help, no matter if you're a man or you're a woman, you're gay or straight, you're non-binary, whatever. Everyone deserves to get help.
What message would you send out to someone who's struggling with mental health today?
Just gotta talk. You can't be bottling stuff.
Definitely not being afraid to talk about it. I feel like most people just like hide it and just try to forget about it, but the best thing you can do is come to terms with it, write about it, talk to people about it.
To try and find a person first someone close to them that they trust and they can open up to. And then my biggest advice is always therapy. Yes. I know it's hard sometimes to take that as a first step, so find someone in your circle you can talk to and maybe slowly work up the courage to get there.